Hello everyone, welcome to Triaright. This is batch 365. Myself Sujit. So in this session, we are going to learn what is library. Also, we are trying to prevent whenever we are trying to import some module, we another module. Okay, each and everything we are trying to see now. So first, I am trying to prevent how to all the things are copied whenever I am trying to import. So guys, here just see, here I am taking two modules. Okay, one module name called test.py and another module name called main.py. Suppose guys, here I am creating a function. Okay, so means in this test.py, I just create a variable called a equal to 10. I just want to print the value. Okay, now if I try to print, it will print that particular thing. Now, if I try to create a function to reverse a function, okay, so every time it will be taking the user input and everything, okay, so we are not taking care about that. We are dynamically at that particular value, okay. So here I need to create a function called reverse. So we have already know how to create a function to reverse a number. So first, every time we are trying to take the user input as number as a positional argument and the default argument as result equal to 0. Because every time we are trying to store that particular number here, because we are trying to reverse the number, okay. After that, we are the means we are don't know how many iteration is going to happen. So here I am trying to use this condition while number becoming 0. I need to stop that. So first I need to get the last number. So here I'm taking num modular division 10. After I'm getting the last number, I need to add in my result. So here I'm trying to use result into 10. After I'm multiply with this 10, after I need to add the last digit. Every time I just need to do the same thing until the number becoming 0. So after getting this number, every time I just need to update that number. After that, every time we are just try to compare, we are just try to return this one. Okay, now if I try to print this one, okay, so every time we know that if I try to print a function, also if I try to see the output, every time we are trying to print that. Because if I'm not printing, then return will be result that value. Okay, we are trying to use that. So here I'm trying to pass this function. So in this case, my function name called reverse. Okay, so here I'm passing reverse and I need to pass a number. So here I'm directly pass a number called 123. Suppose if I'm trying to run this one fast, it will print with 10. And for the second one, so here I'm taking 123. So it will be reverse that number and give me that particular things. Okay. Now there might be chance in the interview they will be asked, try to create a reverse function. Okay. So now if you are getting this model already available, you can use that. So how to use that? To use any model every time you are trying to use the import keyword, then you need to write your module name. So after I am getting this module name, okay, now if I try to run only this thing, means till now I don't call like here, okay? Here I am calling these variables and the function. But in this module, I am not calling. Still, if I am trying to run this one, it will be printing all the things. But here I am not calling, okay? So to prevent with this one, now we are trying to see the logic, how to prevent. Guys, if you are facing any coding interview, there might be chance you are already getting this statement that double underscore name, double underscore, double equal to, double underscore main, double underscore. Now, if when this condition becoming satisfied, then only I just want to call that function. Otherwise, I don't want to print the variables also. So now, if I try to run this one, so I just first need to kill the terminal. Okay, so now if I try to run this module, means the module name test.py means first it will be reverse the number. Here it will be reverse the number cut 321 because here I am taking the number 123. After it will be printing 10. Now if I come to my main.py because I'm dot import that things. Okay, now if I try to run this one, previously it will be run all the things. Now if I try to print this one, it will be not printing anything. Guys, just see, it will only executing, means it will be not having error in this module. So now if I try to use this variable and this function. Now we are trying to call that. So how to call that? First, you need to provide your module name. Then if I try to use your function, now we are trying to call here. Okay. So here I need to call reverse of 123. Still, if I try to run this one, it will be not printing because we are return that value. We are not printing here. So now if I try to see the output, we are also trying to print that things here. Okay. Now if I try to run this one, it will be give me the output 321. Okay. So this is the way we can prevent. Then how we can say it will be prevent, guys? So in our Python, whenever I am trying to use this double underscore name, it will be tell me the module name. So the main double underscore main from where I will be get. If I'm trying to print here the double underscore name, so now I'm getting this double underscore main. Means it will tell that here we are using the main module because we are trying to create all the logic here. We are trying to print here. Means to prevent the data losses, or we can say that if I try to use any coding logic in the online interview, they will be catch you like that. Means they will be not providing that module. That's why every time they will be tell that you need to use that thing. Means if you are going outside, then if they will be know that you are using some module, because if already the reverse logic will be stored in my test.py, I'm just trying to call that. Okay, to prevent that thing. That's why every time they will be tell that you need to write all the things in our double underscore name double underscore main, because inside this if I try to run, you don't need to import anything. Okay, if I try to import also, it will give you the error. That's why, guys, just see, if I try to print double underscore name in my main module, it will be give me the double underscore main. Now if I try to print here, so it will give me that module name we are trying to import. So here first it will be calling this entire module. So here directly come here. Now it will be printing double underscore main. So we are trying to run this from our main.py. So here it will give me the double underscore name equal to test, because we are importing all the things to our main.py. That's why it will be print with test, and after that it will be from the function. So this is the way we can prevent our data losses. Also in the interview also they will try to provide this all the things. Means every time whatever the logic you are trying to write, each and everything you are trying to run here, because if you are running this one, you cannot import any extra module. Okay, so this is the way we can import all the things. Now we are trying to understand what is this library. Okay, in the previous session, we are already get that example. Suppose if I try to create some rule for a college, so I need 100 paper, and each and every paper I just try to add rule. Okay, so to store all the paper, I will be requiring a file. So that file will be treated like a package. Okay, also in the real time case, if I try to store all the paper, I'll store it in a notebook. After storing this notebook for each section, if I want just like that rule, I need to store all the notebook to be somewhere else. So at that time, we are trying to use this library. So library says that library is a umbrella reference, means it will be a reusable chunk of code. Also, a package is a collection of module. A library is a collection of packages. Because we are already know, if I try to create this type of module to store all the things, we are trying to use a package. To after we are getting all the package, if I try to store that package, at that time we are trying to use this library. Means library will be helpful to collection of package. Okay, generally in Python, library contain a collection of related modules and packages. Means it can directly accept the page, also the packages. Suppose in the real time, if I try to create create a library, inside that library I can accept a paper also, I can accept a notebook also. Means both things are we can accept. So we create Python library to share reusable code. So in Python, there are input library also are there. Okay, so we can say that NumPy, Pandas, then PyTest, then SciPy. These are the things we can say that this is treated as a library in Python. So now we are trying to write all the point related to our library. Okay, so a library. Okay, so each and everything we are already seeing. So now we are trying to write the theoretical part. So a library is an umbrella. Why I'm trailing this umbrella? Because umbrella will be storing all the things. That's why umbrella terms referring. Okay, because we are trying to use that referring for purposes. That's why here I am using that things. Okay, so referring to reusable code. Okay, because we are trying to create a reusable code inside a module only. Guys, just suppose if I'm come to my module, here I'm creating this function means I can reusable code anytime. If I, so every time I just need to call that particular thing, every time it will be start implementing. So that's why here I am telling that a library is an umbrella term referring to reusable chunk of code. Okay, so chunk of code. Then the second point of library is a package. Okay, we are already discussing what is package. So a package is a collection of module. Okay, so it is a collection of module and a library. Okay, a library is a collection of package. Okay, so now the next point. Generally, generally a Python library. Okay, whenever we are trying to use this library, our Python library, it contained a collection of related related modules and packages. Okay, now we create the next point, we create Python libraries. Okay, Python libraries. Okay, to share, because after we are tried, if somebody come to my college and if the user requirement will be I want to show the rules of different sections, so we can say that we can create Python library to share the reusable code only. So to share reusable code with the community means with somebody will be asked for that rule, I can directly pass to them. So this is the way we can create a library. Also, we can use that. So how to use our any library? So every time we are trying to use this import keyword, then you can pass your different type of library. So as of now, we know that the different type of library is NumPy, then pandas. Also, we can see the aliasing also. After importing all the library, we can give a short term of variable name to store all the functionality from this module to a variable. So this is all about our module packages library. Also, how to prevent all the things, because in the interview they might be asking what is the use case of our double underscore name, double underscore main, double underscore. Okay, so this is all about our packages module and library. So that's all for this session. Thanks for watching Triaright.